because we don't know how much time we have on this earth. So let's make the best out of it. Let's love one another, and let's try to be protective and healing at the same time. But I have been charged with doing the sponsors. So on behalf of the New York Poets Cafe, I get to shout out the sponsors. So we would like to thank the National Endowment of the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literacy Partnership, the Academy of American Poets, the Tonight Show, Lift Every Voice, the Mid-Atlantic Arts Foundation, the Hispanic Federation, the Shelley and Donald Rubin Foundation, the Literacy Arts Emergency Fund, and the New York Community Trust COVID-19 Response Fund for helping us to provide free online programming. Please support our efforts with a tax-deductible donation by visiting www.nuyorican.org, or you can make a contribution through Cash App, the little money sign, New Yorican Poets Cafe. And I'll shout this out at least 2 more times throughout tonight's performance as well. But what I want to do right now is turn it over to the one, the only Ameerah Shabazz.
Good evening, good evening. Just a little bit about When Women Speak. When Women Speak is a platform for empowering women poets to help women poets find their voice, share their voices, light candles, hold up other people, speak their truths in an area that is safe and nurturing to women. So we are ecstatic about being here on the New Yorican Poets Cafe. So without further ado, let's get started with the work of one of our very, very fabulous women poets, artists, Sister Queen Moore. She has established and produced a fabulous video I'd like to share with you to start off our show. It's all about poetry this evening. So here we go without further ado.
Many have crawled through dark death tunnels. You are grieving. You have cried. We mourn with you. We will continue to hold you in the light. Hold on, my brother. Hold on, my sister. Hold on, my son and my daughter. Keep praying. Daylight is coming. We have made it through love droughts, unable to hug and touch one another. We have survived isolation floods and social media, Zoom calls, phone calls, Google Meetup, lifeboats have saved us. We are staying afloat. Daylight is coming. In times like this, we found true heroes and sheroes. Newark, we're grateful for every essential worker, every doctor, nurse, respiratory therapist, every food distribution volunteer, every delivery person, and every mail carrier. Thank you. Thank you, educators, for making a way for our children to learn. Hard as it is, we are thankful for your knowledge. We're grateful for the prayer warriors, the hymns and singing, the chanters and dancers. You see, for the wisdom we heard from scientists and warriors, thank you. Our kitchens once again became freedom spaces that fed our bellies and our souls. Mothers, fathers, grandmothers, uncles, granddaddies, and aunties became teachers around kitchen tables. The new math is 1 + 1 is love. Some of us were reminded of the beauty of Big Mama's pots, the how we got over story. Some of us learned for the first time the warmth and the deep roots of togetherness and family. That big pot fed us creativity as we found new ways to survive. Some of you have fought off abusers and you have spoken up. Thank you to the counselors and therapists for holding you, listening to you, and wiping away your tears. You are brave survivors, and we see you. It hasn't been easy to stay masked up, to ride the bus to dangerous work, waiting to buy food in long lines. Can't play ball the way we want. It's hard to work to protect and to serve, but we see all of you. Daylight is coming. Newark, once again, 2020 made us refocus on the deep racial breaches in America. We will continue the fight against injustice. Black bodies again battered and beaten in the public square by self-appointed gladiators. In Newark, we marched together, protested injustice as one city, one people, in one voice. We are the national standard of how to resist. Our mayor, the Honorable Ras Baraka, lights the way. We will never stop marching. We will never give up the fight. We have written pandemic poems, created more art than we ever thought possible. We have embraced you, Newark, with a symphony of survival. We have torn down colonial monuments, raised the greatest freedom fighter, Harriet Tubman, to light our path. Daylight is coming. Newark, we are still here. We know how to press, we know how to scrimp and save, bob and weave, duck and survive. Newark, our native sons and daughters have come back home to build affordable housing, to make movies, tell stories, show the world we are Brick City. We are built to thrive. Newark 2020 has tested our resolve, tried our spirits, but we will remember to say their names. We will look ahead, careful not to forget our abundance and always to see the light. We will hold our loved ones closer and celebrate the simple joys. Thank you. Thank you, 2020, for allowing us to birth radical love, for slowing us down, for grounding our steps and putting us on the right track. We look ahead to next year with more grace in hand, more in tune with our body, soul, and spirit. We're eager to fulfill the promises made to ourselves, our families, our neighbors, and our city. Our daylight is here. Our new sun is shining. Newark, God is with us. Keep moving, keep grooving, keep the steady ahead, because daylight is here.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful video produced and directed by Sister Queen Moore, and videographer is Armando Diaz. What a wonderful way to start poetry here at the New York with When Women Speak, then a tribute to all poets. Yes, the video was based out of Newark, New Jersey, who has a powerful renaissance of poets, but it's for every poet across everywhere, United States, globally, everywhere. Okay, so we're ready to start our program now. In the beginning, there were women. Her name was Eve, and she was a part of When Women Speak as well. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring to the stage our first performer, Sister Nzima. Nzima, you have to unmute, baby.
Already nervous. When Women Speaks. So this piece, I am giving respect to When Women Speaks platform, and I am honored. When Women Speaks a truths, you're here sojourn a truths. Ain't I a woman? When Women Speaks, she opened doors, obliging for women, the sister in your life, Sarah, Sophronia, Sweet Thing, and the one they call Peaches. When Women Speaks, she awakened the broken breakings of her or fictive kins, using pen, spoken words, telling tales of Frank Payne's books bounded in Toni Morrison's Black girls, dreaming of blue as eyes, other defiles. When Women Speaks, her wild beauty, unfold worlds, you become her dream girl. And you gonna love me. When she speaks, you become privy or victim to her poetic cryptics, her shadow mysteries, life's debris, her legacies are real or concocted. All that sassy and wild nasty touches of her, define classy and earned flabby, showing off her feminist tits. When Women Speak, she spits swords from her tongue. You witness pink gums. Some hear replays and reruns. Some see crowns gold filled, and others deny the cracks and decays in her words. No matter what, when she speaks to defend and gives her raw, she forgets to pretend. She sits red moons and suns beneath her thumbs, echoing words of Cicely Tyson's that poured from her queen-like gap-toothed mouth, saying in the end, I gave it my best. When Women Speaks, it's for the unrest, for the voiceless, for the sisters, mamacitas, little mamas and daughters, for unborn girls, to remember the greatness. So she pours lights and cups, some out for the unjust, and remembers to say her name, then drinks the rest as she carries river Niles of cries between her thighs with sachet and style. That's just a few things when women convene and speaks.
All right. Woo!
When women speak,
Okay.
Mother
Listen.
Earth awakes. The spirits are cast out. Mountains begin to move. Angels receive wings. Butterflies are called from their cocoon. Generational curses are broken. Demons tremble when women speak. Sisters soldier up, daughters fight to stand up, queens receive their crowns, jewels are polished, glass ceilings are broken, although her voice may shake as she awakes Lady Liberty. Never mistake what she has to say. Despite being constantly interrupted, volcanoes erupt at the elevation of her octave. Though she be small, she be fierce, she be virtuous, she be queen, she be woman, speaking clearly, concisely. When women speak, fools shut up. When women speak, shh, listen without interrupting. There's much to learn. For centuries, our voices have been silenced, but we're here speaking up. Can you hear us? Beyond the noise, beyond the confusion, beyond the mansplaining, can you hear us? We ain't asking, just checking if you're listening when women speak.
When women speak, listen. Her tongue be like fire, fire burns, fire nurtures. Fire will keep you warm, lay between the sparks. Her tongue will ignite your truths, your fallacies too. Listen. When women speak, hear her voice, it's melodious, warming hearts, cuddling babies and men into gurgles of soothing peace, hear. If you're lost, there's direction there. Her silence speaks too. Know how to fear it, follow it. It gives direction too. Listen. When women speak, no. Silence is no longer an option. Prepare for battle. Be mindful of the spits of fire spewed from hearts to throat and tongue and forced out by power. She be woman, nurturer of creation, mystical conqueror of nations. Stand behind her, battle shield of words and wisdom. Be protected. She was sent here and her vibrations rattle and wake the dead, give the blind sight, soothe the weak and meek into mountains strong. Hear her words live in hearts. When women speak, we recognize mama, granny, auntie, and them ancestral voices that blend into earth so you and I can be fed. She be every woman if need be, and sometimes she just be she. She speaks for self, realizing her voice too matters. She speaks loudly through whispers blown through generations strong. She be woman, and her tongue be magic when women speak. Welcome to When Women Speak. So on the platform, thank you, clap it up. Yeah, give those artists some charm here. Give them, clap it up. So far on the platform, you've heard from Sister Nzima. You'll hear from her again. And you also heard from Paradise Christie. You will also hear from her again in the show as we progress through the evening. I'd like to call up to the stage next, Sister Nzima again. She's going to share a poem with you that kind of resonates with me because it talks about who, if I may, be, who we be. And Sister Nzima, it's your stage. Take it away.
Thank you. Every kind of lady. Constancy is an unfair brand of a lady. Let me say that again. Constancy is an unfair brand of a lady. See, I think that I've been every kind of lady. Her and her too. the kind I didn't understand, the kind I feared, envied, yet I revered, the kind I'm not ashamed or wouldn't claim, the kind of lady that I gotta be. Yes, even that girl, her and her too, the kind I couldn't stand or even forgive, the kind that both lived and survived, the kind I grieved, the kind I prayed heavily to be, the kind of lady I gotta be. Yes, even that girl, every kind, even she.
Wow, clap it up, clap it up. Thank you, Nzima, for sharing that every kind of lady poem. And that's who, yes, that's
That
who
is
we
one
are
of my favorite
representing here.
poems.
Thank you.
Nzima, you are getting a lot of love on the Facebook feed as well. You're getting a lot of love on the Facebook feed. People are saying, go. Somebody else is saying welcome. Let me see. Jenny Rose is welcoming everyone. Rescue Poetics is giving mad shout outs to Ameerah Shabazz, and just a lot of hearts, a lot of love, a lot of thumbs up. So ladies, y'all tearing it down in the name of the Eureka Poets Cafe.
All right, all right, all right. So let's call the next poet up to the stage. I have on my list another beautiful, wonderful poet who goes by the name of Paige. How about it, Paige? What you have for us this evening? Paige.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. Thank you, Ameerah.
You're
so
welcome.
this is a new piece and it's titled Coffee. I drink my coffee black, blacker than me, blacker than I ever was, blacker than I'll ever be. I am not black. Not black as these locally roasted Ethiopian beans slung like cocaine on the front lines of gentrified white coffee shop scenes. I am cappuccino, mixed biracial mulatto, a breakfast blend version of black, you know, hard, carefully crafted and perfectly frothy white foam, a frivolous decoration to ruin as you dip your scone. I am not black. Feel free to take me with almond milk, soy, or cream. Douse me with fancy syrups, pour sugar by the pounds until I'm unrecognizable to all the phony liberals standing their ground. My flavor too hidden to savor. My blackness can't be tasted or felt. Hold out your tongue and see if I melt. I am a latte who always has too much to say. Put a lid on me just to see if I can stay warm in a coffee holder designed to hold her the way they hold me, covered, unseen. I am not black. You always did have a knack for making me feel like a knockoff brand, Maxwell House, Dunkin', or Mickey D's. Nothing rich nor authentic pours out of me. Can't you see? I am cold brewed. Despite being shrewd, I've rolled down my fair share of cold shoulders that have not thawed as I've gotten older. Mean girls grew to be women, sipping through veils of steam so thin. You are not black. You have no right to say that. Your whiteness cements that fact. You picked a side and there is no turning back. You weren't raised on the wrong side of the tracks. You cannot make up for the melanin you lack. You are mixed. You go on and take your coffee black, then take your confused ass back to where you came from. Don't walk, run to wherever that may be, a place where we don't have to see the discomfort of your watered down identity. Am I black? I am not black. I am cappuccino. I am not black. I am a latte. I am not black. I am cold brewed. You are not black. You are not mixed. I am. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you, Paige.
Yes.
Thank you.
And you just wrote that page? You just wrote that.
I wrote it just about maybe 2 weeks ago and I changed it. The ending was bothering me. So I added that repetition and I was like, I know it. That's it. Good.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Paige, yes.
You got that one. So I'm going to bring the next poet to the stage. I'm going to call this young lady Callie the poet. Come on up, Callie, the wordsmith. Callie, let's do this, Callie. Unmute, please. Let's see, can I unmute you? Hold on. Callie, I can't unmute you.
Yeah, it let me.
Okay,
Once
all
you
right.
did it, then it let me.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me be here. Thank you for the invite. I'm so happy to be here. So this poem is called Chosen Few. So let's get started. There are wounds here, as wide as the distance between me and my legacy, like black leather whips carving brown leather skin. These scars run so deep they concealed my origin story, but my gods don't keep secrets. Glory be me, I've been left alive long enough to retrieve it and speak it back into existence. They say, breathe, girl. That air is ancestral healing. I'm marching my way to the water's edge. Let it wash the memory of who I am out of my worry and into the depths of my soul. I've been lost on the shore, waiting for the tide to lead me back to the drumbeat, because we could bring the rains down when we danced in ceremony on red clay roads and sang our hearts to the stars as loud as the rumbles on the waves when those ships rolled in and those bodies shackled out. Did they know there were kings and queens bound in those fetters? Did they know DNA chains don't degrade like those iron ones do? My blood doesn't rust because it's royal. And these wounds won't close until my past is standing next to me. I want to honor the spirits in my native tongue, wailing the sorrows of forgotten guardians, pouring libations and prayers until I can recollect every name running through my veins. They say, live, girl. This life is ancestral blessings. Home is where the heart is, so where does heart live when home becomes a battlefield, then a lost war, then a new world never seen before? There are wounds here as long as the journey from home to hell. Ripped right from the womb, our land is a mother that longs to see her babies again. Bury me in her earth for a time until time restarts and I am in her arms. Let my feet touch the soil so many never felt again. They say, cry you a river, girl, and let your ancestors finally sail home. Thank you.
Woo! That was powerful.
Yes, that
Wow,
was beautiful, Callie.
wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
Callie.
Amazing.
I wish I could see some of the posts from the live stream, but unfortunately,
Oh, I can tell you what people
Okay,
are saying.
please
Here you
share.
go. Okay, Johnny Rose, Jenny, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Jani, last name Rose, is giving mad props to everybody on, lots of hearts. Rev Lee, Leon Smith is watching all the way from Georgia. That's my DJ for the National Black Theater Festival. Janet Page says, I love it. And it seems like everybody that's on the live feed is just enjoying themselves. So ladies, keep spitting fire.
Well, I'm glad that they're enjoying themselves. And once again, we have a fabulous lineup of female poets, only females this evening. So without further ado, let me bring up the next gorgeous poet, Dr. Antoinette Ellis-William. Long title for such a phenomenal woman with a phenomenal voice. She was featured also on the opening video, directed and produced by Sister Queen Moore. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Antoinette Ellis-William.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I always see the hands. Hey, hey. So I'm going to do something completely different. We're women, right? So here we go. A love poem for me. Did I say I love you? You must be mistaken. You see, I can't really love you because I ain't done loving me. Why, you ask? You don't deserve an explanation. Just know that until I love me, loving you ain't a thing. Did you confuse sex for love? You must be mistaken. Sex is just a thing. We never made love. When I make love to you, you won't be confused. So don't get it twisted. I ain't done loving me. I'm working on freeing myself from the shame and that wars within, trying to turn my inside out. Echoes of doubt and hate talk scream in my head. I got to find a way to truly love me. Did you think I love you because I gave you a gift? Huh. Tricks are for rabbits. Gifts are for suckers. I ain't done giving myself the gift of agency, voice, or forgiveness. So how could I love you? Yes, I tried to love you. My bad. Yes, I believe I was ready. My bad. You see, I tried to give you water from an empty glass. That's why you are still thirsty for more. Drip, drip. You were there to dull my pain, so I used you, but that caused me more pain. Pain plus pain is negative equation. I was never good at math. I want to love me fully, complete.
Wow, thank you, sis. Thank you. That was phenomenal. Love me, love you completely. Hey, I'm looking for love. I guess all of us are out there, huh? I'm going to call the next poet up to the stage, who happens to be a relative of mine. This is my niece, Stephanie. Stephanie, come on up and grace the stage with your voice. Stephanie, are you here?
Yes, y'all can hear me? I'm good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful to be here with all of you.
And your lighting looks fabulous, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, so this poem is called Color Me. In a world full of colors, color me black. Color me an array of hues, richly vibrant dance moves on cue, black. Color me grandma's living room, plastic covered furniture, while kids running outside to catch a hot summer's breeze with their scraped up knees, black. Color me block parties in the 90s while Frankie Beverly and Maze blow through speakers, shake them bones, dominoes, cards slamming on the table, catfish hot out the grease, black. Color me street lights are on, better have your ass in the house and don't give your mama no back talk because there's church in the morning. Grandma's hands cooking that good old Sunday dinner. Color me HBCUs finally teaching us the truth. Our history unedited is something to be proud of. With we are an African people pledges falling from my lips while I lift every voice to sing and fists raised high towards the sky. Color me, marches making the evening news, painting pictures of thugs and brutes, but see, we are much more at our roots. Not savages, but kings and queens. We're a dynamic race reigning supreme. So with all the colors in the world that I could be, color me black.
Wow. Color me black, color me black, color me black, color me.
Yes, yes.
Man, yes.
I love it. Powerful.
I love that shout out to HBCUs, by the way. I'm an HBCU mom all the way. Let's go Hampton. All right. I'm sorry, Howard. You know, we're the real HU. Here we go.
Morgan in the house, Morgan State.
Right, Kiara. Let me call to the stage the next female poet, next woman poet, next poetress, Sister Mwikali. Mwikali words.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, love.
Good evening. Can you see me there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, awesome. This piece is called As You Sleep. I watch you sleep and want to keep you safe and want to keep you warm and want to keep you well and need to see you smile and need to know the feel of your laughter in my skin. I pray your dreams be kind to you and reveal love and life and healing. May you rest and be well and refreshed. I pray for your dreams and cannot pause the progress of the love and what it does to my heart to be seen by you. I pray for your protection and your realized possibility as you proceed to get what you need. I pray you lend me your feet, that I might ease the spaces that are aching, rub sacred oils of frankincense at the parts of life that don't make sense. I desire to slay the dragons with you. We are the knights and the royals. We are saving ourselves and each other and are aware of our crowns in the places where they seem set down. For a while, we are learning how to love and be enough. We are building and breaking every chain that restrain the brain's beliefs. We are what we need. I ask God to show me what I had been feeling in the dark for. I asked God to guide my hands and open my eyes enough to recognize the love. And then there was you. There was you speaking life in my life, rapping lyrics like arms around my soul. I feel whole and growing with you. You remind me that my healing is showing. You see me. I see you. We break ground. We turn ready soil. We do not desert the hard work. We toil more than try. We do more than don't. We place our past selves in our palms as offering a show of good faith. And when I see you and you see me, we know we've got good taste and nourishment. You prayed, I prayed, we be heaven sent and imperfect and worth this, not because of who we are, but because of whose we are. We be God made. And God is love, so love reigns through growing pains, and trouble don't last always or long at all, because we put our words on the walls. We make our worlds available, purposely placed, and it makes it all easier than it had been in the past. We do the work to make it last and see the fruits that grows and feel the grass beneath ready toes. I have decided to love you. You have decided to love me. I choose your hands and your eyes and that smile, that smile, that smile. I'll see your smile and your soul, and I love you times infinity and beyond. I love you like a song, sung well and satisfying, dug well and gratifying, and I drink deep and thirst no more. You love me. And tell me until I'm sure and secure in this. Your love is sweetest kiss and consistent conversation. We learn each other, turn each other over, listen on both sides, ride the wave, catch the vibe. Thank you for coming and staying and praying for a miracle and calling me by name. Thank you for knowing what you want in life and making it plain. It is easy, so easy to love you. Thank you.
Y'all turn those mics on and give this a
Gosh, yes.
Powerful.
Everything.
You know, one of the things that I'd like to acknowledge right here and now is the level of what's the word I'm looking for? Talent, creativity, the voices, the poetry. It's individual. Each and every one of us has a different voice, and y'all bringing it tonight. I'm sitting here in awe of each and every one of you, because the thing is about poetry is that we never, ever, ever should sound the same. And this is the platform where we're showing that there's a space, there's a place for everyone, no matter what your poetry is. Sing that song, say that thing, do that poem. So I'm going to go ahead.
Ameerah,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to add another word to that list: fearlessness. You know, because I know from being a female performer, like many a days you go to an open mic or you're featuring, it's very rare that it's an all-woman showcase, you know, and it's also very rare that we get together to acknowledge the fact that we are just some bad human beings, you know, like the world, we give birth. Bottom line, we give birth. Okay, so if it wasn't for a woman, none of us would be here. And I think a lot of times as a performer or somebody who's been frequently seeing open mics for like a long time, women are not always given the due that they deserve. You know, we're just as equally talented as men. And this right here is showing what we can do. And I love the fact that you've been doing When Women Speak for quite some time. I was so happy that when I contacted you, you was like, yeah, I'm on board. Okay, and I was like, oh, I couldn't think of a better person to be a co-host with besides Ameerah, because I could just sit back and be like, oh my God, these people are fantastic.
You know what? I want to piggyback off of what you're saying, Dr. Helena. I felt honored when you asked us. And I say us because this is the platform for us. It's for women, by women, and we're reaching out to all women souls out there. If you want to be a part of When Women Speak, we showcase ourselves, each other, and you once a month. We're the third week of the month. We're live on Facebook, and we also have a Facebook group. Well, let me tell you a little bit of something about how Women Speak started. And in college, I had a college friend who was a phenomenal actress, and she did a one-woman show. Not unlike not any too much different than the shows that Dr. Helena does herself, with talking about her day-to-day life and her work, which are phenomenal. If she ever does it again, you guys should buy tickets because it's a phenomenal show. But at any rate, over the years, though, you know, as women, we're wives, we're mothers, we go, maybe have occupations. And so life sometimes beats us down because maybe we don't have the best relationships, or maybe we don't have the best chances. And maybe we're just so tired with our day-to-day everything and being that superwoman that we forget sometimes who we are. So I met this young lady several years after we were college grads. Of course, you know, now I'm moving into my senior years. And I said, well, you know, I'm doing poetry. How about you come in and do your one woman show? You know, I remembered that's how well she performed it. And she was like, you know, oh no, Ameerah, I'm too shy. I was like, shy? You did you did Jane Pittman. And it was almost like I was watching something on TV. Like, how could you be shy? It was a phenomenal performance. So she was like, no, and you could tell that, you know, the years hadn't been too kind. So she said, well, you know, I really don't feel comfortable performing in front of men. And at that time it was men, women in our audience. So I said, guess what? One day, one show only, because I want you to feel something from life again. We're going to just have women in the audience. We're just going to have women on stage. We're just going to have women vendors. And we're going to do that so that you can share your work. Well, the day we opened, there was standing room only. There was no place to park. There was no place to sit. There was no place to stand. And When Women Speak has been going strong ever since that day. I don't even know how many years now. That's how long it has actually been in existence. And I think we're like one of the only shows that's consistently, if we were in a brick and mortar building, we'd be packing them in. So this must be something that women need. So as long as the women need it, then guess what? We're going to bring it. And so, having said that, let me bring to the stage the next fabulous poet, Sister Paradise.
Paradise, paradise.
Hi, everyone. I'm going different. This particular poem speaks to the traumas that women face. It's titled 485. 485. Red paint on white walls, beautiful no more. You know, my mom, she never allowed men into our homes. She never allowed us to play with boys, but that night she did. I mean, after all, it was family game night. I'm talking scooters, roller skates, skateboards, adults inside, children outside. I'm talking hopscotch and hula hoops. Children unattended, sitting on stoops, snuggling innocence, blessing puppy cheeks with tender kisses, hugs of sheer serenity. God, please grant me. See, he asked, is that your baby sister? I can see that you love her. How much do you love her? She replied, so much I would die. Who knew he would use this as a tool? He knew he would use this as a tool to exact mass destruction. See, this was no neighbor, simply the hood, where neighbors concealed faces behind hoods, robbing children of innocence. My mother, she never allowed men into our homes. See, she had 6 beautiful girls, so she never allowed us to play with boys. She anointed our foreheads with holy oil every night, as if she knew this night would come, as if she knew this savage would want to come. Albeit our fathers were absent, she taught us Our Father, who art in heaven, where were you when open windows allowed this savage in? To give rise to decades of trauma, a generation cursed the name of the monster who invited himself in to uncharted territory, to rip innocence away from families still sleeping, who slithered through cracked windows to crack hearts wide open, brandishing knives from a kitchen he didn't belong in, breaking through, busting through, stifling through, snatching virginity that didn't belong to him, forcing siblings to watch purity be snatched from blankets of protection, innocence being ripped from hymens, plunging through vocal cords, pumping poison into vaginal walls, red paint on white walls, beautiful no more. As cold wooden floors kiss innocent cheeks, God protected me through colorful dreams of children playing, when in all actuality, it was my sister's screams. My sister's screeching cries, my sister's pleas clamoring, mommy, mommy, he raped me. Have you ever seen your sisters laying down, face pressed against cold wooden floors? Have you ever heard your mom's piercing cries, questioning God, why? Why, God, not my baby, it should have been me. Why, God, everybody watching, everybody talking, everybody raped and murdered was his plan. As streets and tires suckle cold black pavements, cars barreled down wrong ways, down one ways, and still, sometimes I still wish my stepfather would have caught him, running naked in summer's breeze down side streets. I wished, I prayed. That morning I prayed my stepfather would have caught him, because surely he would have killed him. 485, everybody watching, everybody talking. 485, why did you allow open windows to allow this savage in? Red paint on white walls, beautiful no more. But this is not the end. We will speak, we will testify. We will tell this story. We will tell her story. We will tell our stories. We no longer sweeping this under the carpets. We're no longer playing pretend. There's healing that comes from all ends. I speak life over your life. What the devil meant for bad, God snatched back and brought it back. So no means no. And we ain't holding your secrets. We ain't coddling your secrets. We ain't doing your dirty work. We smearing red paint on open doors, allowing healing to begin. Red paint on white walls and open doors. Beautiful once more.
Y'all got to unmute to that one.
My Lord, my Lord, my Lord.
Yes.
Yes.
Powerful. Yes. Wow.
Is there anybody that would like to offer a verbal comment on that piece? It was powerful. It's a woman's story. The percentages of women who have been abused in that manner are so high. Is there anybody that would like to add a comment at this time to that piece?
Yeah, I would like to add, first, let me just say, Paradise, like I haven't seen you in numerous years, but I don't know, today is the day that I feel like I know you now. Like you've always carried yourself with such pride and such dignity. And when I work with women who are incarcerated, and one of the pathways to incarceration and to drug addiction is people who were molested or raped at a very early age. When before COVID-19, I ran a 51-bed facility, and I would say out of the 51 women, 49 of them have been victims of sexual assault. So we need to talk about this. We need to talk to our children with the appropriate language. Did anybody touch you? Did anybody did this? Did anybody did that? And you're sharing this, you know, this is going to live forever. You're going to save somebody. You're going to help somebody. You're going to let someone know that they too can, I don't want to say survive, but strive. You know, what happened to you should not have happened to you, period. You know, parents are supposed to be protecting their children and be watching out. And so many parents fall short of that. Or so many parents choose to say, oh, well, it can't happen to my child or under my husband, but it's happening. The prisons are full of people who have been sexually assaulted, women. And I just want to say, I'm so proud of you that you're standing, that you're sharing, and you are successful, and you didn't let this bring you all the way down to the point where you couldn't get all the way back up. And I might not be saying it in the best clinical words, but I celebrate you today, Paradise. I celebrate you.
Thank you so much, Helena. Thank you.
I want to join in that celebration. And I want to also add at this time, when we talk about women's stories and when we talk about when women speak and the premise of this particular platform, it's because not every voice is a voice of happiness. There are many stories from the women. And one of the things that was mentioned to me early when our program began was, I really don't want to come to when women speak. I don't want to be a part of that particular platform because I already know what stories women tell. But anybody who has ever entered into our threshold, they know that there are as many voices and as many stories as there are women present. And that just happens to be one. And it's a very important story, just as Dr. Helena has just emphasized in her line of work. And a lot of us are doctors, therapists, teachers, and counselors as well. We know that we encounter this, and we may even be just regular women and be a part of that Me Too type of thing with having been sexually molested. Thanks again, Paradise, and we'll see you in a few minutes on the second half of the show. Wow. That one took my breath away. Calling to the stage is our next poet, Sister Megha.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Megha.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. I am so honored to be part of this platform, and I am so honored to share the space today with so many brilliant poets. And it's like the whole room is like lit up with like their creativity. So my poem is called When Men Explain Me Things. When men explain me things, the sharp wind grazes and cuts my tongue, razor sharp, like your disagreement towards how I live my life, your pointy misconceptions about how it has been traded for various things to give you little pleasures at the expense of my happiness. The black metallic taste of my unspoken truths sits at the back of my throat, mulling in obsidian time, resting precariously on my forked tongue, slithering and infusing the sense of fear in the roots of your hair as they stand at the back of your neck. I fear the day when my shredded truth will drip and taint your soul, your pristine soul, and your ambitious gesture of owning everything will crumble like a house of cards in your phony wonderland. Your ramshackle leash around my neck hasn't choked me enough to knock out the wind out of my chest. Those broken rods of resilience, through pounded a million times, with your sheer ignorance, hasn't given it yet. You, with a smirk on your face, think I have caged my heart, but instead I have given it an armor, a valiant shield against your vulture beak, as it tries fervently to preen the truth from the depth of my soul. My bones rattle in a symphony with crimson rage when men explain things to me. Thank you.
That was so good.
Amazing. Megha, I'm so glad that you shared that when men explain things to me. I don't even know if I said it with the proper accent. Explain things to me, as we say it. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to call to the stage my next poet. She needs no real introduction if you've been following When Women Speak. She's wearing that beautiful color red and that beautiful hat that I always see her in as she's performing. Come on and bring it here, Mariah. Mariah, step onto the stage, please. How are you?
Doing good. I'm so excited to be here. My God. All right. This piece, I wrote it at the beginning of this week. It's called Strange Fruit Called Respect. Butt whoopings.
Oh,
It didn't matter whether it was a black leather belt, a wooden brush, a bear palm, you knew it was a punishment. Like when white folks watched us get lashed or hanged, it was a party for them. We were the balloons or the strange fruit, like Billie Holiday sings. A hunger, a rumbling belly wanting Black people to be respectful. How can I be respectful to white folks who have kept systemic racism alive? I'm rageful. I grew up thinking you gave me butt whoopings so that I treated every human being with respect, but I was confused because I also grew up thinking that if I failed or made mistakes, I deserved to be hurt. Perfection I craved. It wasn't until I grew older that I understood why the white kids rarely got butt whoopings, but the Black kids always did. Yes, I know I'm supposed to be respectful to every human being. And yes, I forgive you for giving me butt whoopings, because if I wasn't respectful to white folks, I could end up having a horrific open casket funeral, or be found floating in the Hudson River, or be shot for Skittles, or be burned alive in the trunk of a car, or shot for sleeping, or going on a run, or have my neck knelt on for 9 minutes and 29 seconds as if a global pandemic wasn't enough stress. Yes, I forgive you, because I don't have the white privilege to not be respectful, because tomorrow I could end up being the next strange fruit they hungered for.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yes.
Wow, 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 wow.
Thank
Yes.
you, Mariah.
Wow. Thank you.
Mariah, I love your work. I love your work. Powerful piece, powerful piece. Ladies, you want to say something to Mariah about her work? Anybody?
It was necessary. Thank you, Mariah.
Very timely in today's situation in our society, what's happening. Yeah, I have those same sentiments. Thank you for reading my soul.
you know what I was thinking about when you was performing that piece, about how we have people of color have different conversations with their children. When you go here, you need to do this. Don't go here at this time of the day. And I remember I was in a class for my doctorate, and I spoke to that one day in class, and the other people there were like, we really don't have no idea what you're talking about. But this is from, like, my father had this conversation, his father before him, and like we're still having to have these same conversations. And don't get me started on how it wasn't 8 minutes and 46 seconds that that old boy was kneeling on his knee. It was 9 minutes and some change. Not, you mean to tell me in 9 minutes and some change, you didn't think maybe I'm killing this guy? Because you didn't care. Because you was taught that his life is not important, that you can do that because you have a badge that allows you to do that. And that is, if they don't find this guy guilty, I don't know.
If they don't find him guilty, it's going to be some serious issues. And so I'd like to add to this whole conversation that when you see a wrong being done, you cannot be silent. This is why poetry is so very important. Poets become the voices of society. You're able to speak what other people have in their hearts. Your activism are your poems. Keep speaking, sisters, keep speaking. The word needs to get out there. We are not over this yet. And I think possibly the worst is yet to come. Just be mindful of that and keep it up with your poetry. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Coming to the stage next, we have Sister Kiare.
Peace, peace. I hope everyone is doing well on this beautiful day. This poem is called Canvas, and I wrote it after a discussion about how as a woman and as a Black woman, I'm expected to be so many things and no one ever asks you what you want to be. So this is Canvas. If I told you I was everything you ever needed, would you believe me? I am the greatest beginning that I am afraid to start. See, I am fresh and crisp and ready and waiting to be the kind of beautiful that you only see when you close your eyes. Strokes brush past me and paint all over my body, leaving marks as deep as the eye can see. And I can see that you love me. As long as I allow you to color me how you want me. As long as I allow you to leave the reds and browns and blacks that you want me to be. The type of stain that you leave on walls hanging up, the type of altered clean that you claim as perfect, as long as the price is right. As long as the end result is bright, as long as I forget myself to be what you believed I could. And when you see me in your sleep, shut my light to give all of me away, to give away for you to be great, I must first release everything I ever wanted. But who told you I didn't have beauty in me? Who told you I wasn't good enough to be by myself? Who told you that your vision of me after you was better than me before myself and after you finished? Leaving me sticky and dripping and tainted and unrecognizable to whoever met me, including myself. You introduced me to the world as your best, your beautiful, this masterpiece. I wonder how long it would take to find a way back to me. I wonder if I would ever go back to when I was fresh and crisp and ready. I wonder if I would have ever been the same kind of beautiful from before you decided to paint me gorgeous. I wonder if when the lights go off and the camera stops shuddering and the people stop staring and I get but moments by myself, will I see any remnant of who I used to be? Will I believe in the dream I had for my masterpiece? Will I see a vision of my master in peace? Will I be good enough to just be? Will I remember when I was good enough to be for me? Will I ever again be everything I could ever need? But most importantly, will I ever believe in me? Thank you.
You better go ahead.
Hey, you got that one, Kiara. Kiara, that was amazing. That was amazing. I like the line that you talked about, fresh and crisp. Like I felt that one. Like I think every seasoned woman, I'll put it that way, remembers those fresh and crisp days. So yeah, that one resonated with me very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought I heard some giggles in the background there. Yeah, you know very well what Kara's talking about. So one of the guests in the audience, she says, "This is a vision of my master and peace. Why is it that we have to change? We are beautiful just the way we are." That's a comment from Sister Elizabeth out there. And then we got a lot of yes, 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 and literally beyond deep are some of the comments that have been posted. Kiara, thank you very much for gracing our stage here at When Women Speak at the New York Poets Cafe. April is Poetry Month. April is Poetry Month. The next guest I have, thank you, Kiara. I'm sorry, I'm so rude. The next guest I have coming up to the stage actually wrote a poem to music. And one of the things that happens out here in virtual land is when you perform to music, it doesn't necessarily always sound that great in the virtual world. So artists tend to try to make audio and attach some video component to it so that their words are as beautiful as they intended to be. So I'm going to share my screen right now for the next guest. This is her poem. This is her first piece of the evening. This is Sister Ilu Catori, and she has a video presentation she'd like to present to you. And here we go.
Poetry. It is what drives my intellect to believe in many concepts.
Love, family, respect, poetry, rooted deep within me, my innate ability to take a fantasy and bring it to reality. Lost within my pen, I am born to myself again, reinventing life so that when you look back at who I was then, you can understand who I am now. Rhythm takes me beyond the understanding of my eyes, so I close them. Lost within the dynamics of space and time. If Jupiter and Venus had a comrade, it would be I. No longer centered with gravity, the melody propels me into poetry. Manually scripting everything that once was and is to be. Ink dipped in infinity, never to perish. This is my legacy. Words igniting on paper, then floating away in vapor and fusing with the rhythm. The vibrations of past generations before it had a name. When the drums beat was the heartbeat of the community. And sanity was kept through feeling. Feeling the energy of a beat, you see. I have fallen victim to this beat, reincarnated in a new melody. Poetry. Silhouettes of sentences emerge from my thoughts, releasing a tundra of emotions which have brought pain, joy, unhappiness. But what I've been taught is to let go and let rhythm wrap itself within my poetry, relinquishing air so that my words can breathe with ease through the tempo and find their place within my flow, pace slow, then speeding up. I'm drowning in the sound of my imagination. Rhythm and poetry have made a connection, and I am falling within their dimension. Time has no relevance here. The only thing entering my ear is the pulse, amplifying my inner thoughts, awaiting the paths of rhythm and poetry to cross, retaining clarity amidst the insanity, but my tranquility has already been etched into this melody. Poetry, rhythm and poetry, music.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So Ilu, can you unmute yourself for a minute?
Hi. Hello.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, good.
Yes.
Ilu, that was a beautiful, beautiful piece. And I'm happy to have shown it for you here on When Women Speak at the New Yorican Poets Cafe. And I just wanted people to put a face with that poem. So if you could just
Okay, well, just so everybody knows though, that is not the official video to that poem. The official video to that poem is being worked on right now. So I just figured I'd give everybody a little clip into my life while the poem was playing. But I just recorded the poem in the studio, and now we're working on putting the video together for that poem.
What the poem was hot. What it was the pre-edited, post-edited. Fire.
Thank you.
Yeah, you coming down the street with that outfit, the mask, like bam, let me give you back, girl. But let me tell you, I loved it. But at the end, seeing Bria in that chair, I got a little emotional because I was like, damn, I would wish she was still here with us, you know, and the impact that she has had, I don't want to say had, because she is still having an impact now. You know, the street is named after her. People are referencing her in poems, still speaking about her. She's been going for how long now?
I don't even know. 5 years.
Wow.
Ladies, our audience is not familiar with Sister Bria. This is When Women Speak, and we have the right to bring up past poets who are no longer with us, someone as beautiful and as powerful as Bria. Someone would like to tell the audience who Bria was.
I can tell everybody who Bria was.
Bria Blackberry.
Yes, Bria was an incredible poet out of Newark. She did so much for the community, the Newark community, and she was very much deserving of a street named after her. I personally put her in my video, like I said, was clips from my life and just very important people in important moments in my life. So that particular clip
was from her last poetry event that she hosted. And she just gave me the confidence that I needed as a poet to be able to move forward and grow within my craft. So I'm very grateful and blessed to have met her and to have known her.
Thank you, Ilu, for bringing her back, her voice, and at any rate, back to earth with us, and her presence as well in this land of poetry right here when women speak. I'm going to move the program along just a little bit now, and I'm going to call to the stage our next performer, our next poet. I want the people to know that although the origins of When Women Speak came out of Newark, New Jersey's renaissance of poetry and art and culture, with the pandemic, we have gone global. We have sisters from India. We have sisters from the West Coast. We have sisters from the South. And we also have joining us, as in our next poet, Sister Nzima, who is from Hartford, Connecticut. I think it's Hartford, but I know it's Connecticut. So, and she runs a platform. She's going to tell you a little bit about her platform when she takes the mic. Nzima.
Yes. So thank you. And so I am a expressive writing coach, author, and a poet, and I have a platform which is called Every Kind of Lady, which is about acceptance. And so I'm excited. When Ameerah called me and told me about this whole thing that she was doing, I was just so honored and humbled, and I just love everything that she does. So I have writing workshop series coming up, working on
Well, your
anthology.
lighting is fabulous.
Thank you.
I'm all into that. I'm a little jealous. I love it.
Thank you.
I love the background. I love the background display. You're every kind of lady, your workshops. I've been in a couple of your writing workshops for poets and for writers. I produced volumes of poems, by the way, in your workshops. They were phenomenal. And towards the end of the show, I'm going to let you shout that out. I'm also going to I want to take some time to talk about the anthologies that you edited with the collaborative effort of many poets, and also some of the other fabulous things that you do. But right now, it's time for you to give us some poetry, girl. Let's move this.
Okay. So I have one that I would like to share. You all inspired this. It's called Women to Women. It's a nice short one. Release all those bags. Listen to the lady named Conscience that sits heavily on your shoulders, ranting and raving about your needs. Shake off the past damages. Inhale new possibilities. Reach around to the nape of your neck. Grab your spine and pull it up. Watch out faithfully, for everything will fall into place. So that was the one I wanted to share, dedicated to you all.
Beautiful.
So, Nzima, are you going to perform another one, or are you going to wait for your next turn on the mic? Because that was actually your first one. The first two poems that you all heard from her, they were favorites to me. I just love that Every Kind of Lady poem, and then of course the When Women Speak signature poem.
Okay.
You have the opportunity. You can do one now, or you can.
I can do another one. Okay, it's another short one.
Okay.
This is called She Is Black Tea. She is dewdrops filling up her lover's cup, who learned to drink her in slow. She is the glow of a million moons ago. Folks call her indigo. She is the earth's black tea, stimulating flows and new births. She is everything, quenching everything, the breast the world suckles. She is the feminine principle, way beyond queenable. She is dark, deep, like the blue, black, purple sky. Beautiful.
She. Nothing but women, nothing but she. Fabulous, fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nzima. We'll see you in a few minutes, and of course, have that anthology ready for us to discuss. So we're going to move forward. I'm going to say at this time, we have This is a moment from our sponsors. We're giving a moment from our sponsors. We have to pay the bills around here.
Today, good people, it is my turn to shout out our fabulous sponsors for the New York Poets Cafe. And when women speak for today, we would like to thank the National Endowment of the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literacy Partnership, the Academy of American Poets, the Tonight Show. Yes, they gave us a little chunk of money here. Okay, Lift Every Voice, the Mid-Atlantic Arts Foundation, the Hispanic Federation, the Shelley and Donald Rubin Foundation, the Literacy Arts Emergency Fund, and the New York Community Trust COVID-19 Response Fund for helping us to provide free online programming on behalf of the New York Poets Cafe. You can make a donation to us using Cash App at the # New York Poets Cafe, or just go to our website, newyork.org. And might I add, if you would like to make a donation to When Women Speak, Ameerah, insert you here.
Okay, she inserted me here. So donations to When Women Speak, because nothing in life is free. I will type my Cash App information, and I will also put it on live stream. I don't have a bulletin in this form to share with you. Maybe I'll write one up the next time while I'm waiting for a poet to finish. But I am $ Ameerah Shabazz, 2 E's in Ameerah, AMEERAH, Shabazz like Malcolm. That's my Cash App information, $ Ameerah Shabazz. Every little bit helps because I am the sole proprietor of When Women Speak, meaning I pay all the bills for that show. And at some point, we'd like to get our artists paid as well. They put in a lot of time. Their work is phenomenal, and they deserve the credit and the monetary gift that goes along with presenting their words to you so that you can vibe off of them as well. Thank you, Dr. Helena. We're entering into the second half of the show here. And in the second half is where the artists get to tell you a little bit about themselves. And also, if they're published authors, they have published works, they can present that at this time. They will also, they can also do not one, but maybe 2 poems. And that's how the second half will work. I am, and Dr. Helena is also a part of the platform. So at this point, it's my turn to share my poetry with you. And I'm going to do all my poems at this point so that I'm not speaking again. I can be hostess, if you don't mind. So the first poem that I'm going to do is called Ode. Ode, it's a sonnet. There was fraught in my fear of shouts of silence driving to picnics, the lynchings. They inspired me to write. How I hate the way you hang and kill and hurt them, my people. In your thoughts and in your ways, in your days of privilege, invading my mind day and all through the night, it's fear. It's fear I may still die enslaved, although you say I be free. The irony, you say, always dreaming about the Black overt deception, we just wander unwoke. Let me compare this to a bloodless tomb. You meander free, but me, I am destined to spaces and times that weren't ever meant to be mine. Dependency for blood milk that kills, and you smile as I sip. Yours are more breathless, and your endless infamy be hot and burning, shooting stars into galaxies of endless persecution of dead sun heats and summertime, although the hydrant leaks. It leaks water. It can't clean the shallows of the ghetto you left behind when you migrated to the hills to flee me. Was I free? How do I hate you? Let me count the ways I hate your mean legacy with Emmett-like tears and fears of mamas like Mrs. Till, thinking of sons before me and behind me in fields left lifeless, fed with our tears. These fill my days. My hate for you is the ungrateful years of regret of ancestor souls meeting, conquering, ripping rage from lands further away than memory. We are forgotten. Now I rust away with the blackness in my heart and I remember your white words while we're apart. Here's where I say the N-word vanished from my vocabulary in shouts of die and die and die. But you can't understand how I conquered even death. You brought us here. We shall live. We shall live. We shall. My blue lynching, you inspire me to write. I hate the way you beat and shoot, invading my mind days and through my nights, always dreaming about the sins of your fathers as they have the desire to loot and shoot my sons in streets. They have now become endless tombs. They cannot openly hang on trees anymore, so they shoot folks down to even that score. Any lynching still is strange, with the fruits of labor being a mental slavery, forcing mistrust. But let me suggest, we may die in streets, yet those that live, we will remember, and we will be the reminder that won't make you feel better about the world nor its ending. And you shall not enjoy your comfort. You shall not enjoy it, as we shall die. We shall not be in vain. My Black lives, you inspire me to write how I love the way you breathe, cry, and die, invading my mind day and through the night, always dreaming about greatness, our battle cry. My Black lives, you inspire me to write how I hate the way you point fingers at brothers, ignore the cities, and the cries of mothers. Their cries invade my mind, my days, and through the nights on repeat as we surrender in defeat when we kill each other. Let me compare you to a murderous thrill. You are more misled, unfed from knowledge beds. Blood runs flood the streets, the sound fields in our dismay. And the summertime, just before it's springtime, does not bring life, as long as your brother's skin be shed. Let me compare you to a frightened mothers who cry, rounds of rains flooding the fields of barren Aprils, and the springtime has the tightening buds budding, leaving only branches and trenches of blood. How do I love you? Let me count the ways, my people, I love your glorious eyes, skin and blood. Thinking of your futures fills my days, my love for you is what I breathe. Remember my sacred words while we're apart. There was fraught in my fear of shouts of people mattering. I keep silence too. The lynchings draped in whites, shots in backs, sprinkled with skittles, blood-laced playground walls painted with red, white, and blues mixed with the browns of our melanin hues. They inspired me to write. And as I write, I want to bellow. I want to stand here and bellow names. I want to, in a surreal sort of way, pay tribute to the falling, not the falling to the violence of the street war, but the falling of pandemic blues, pandemic hard breaths, pandemic nobody coming to see you, pandemic like blowing kisses through glass, pandemic like tubes and blowing and pressing sounds of breathing apparatus blues, body bags and freezer trucks full, morgue schedules. I wanna go to your funeral and say my farewells properly. I feel like I wanna say your name, no vaccine. I wanna bellow. I wanna say your name, kiss you through mask and without mask, just make it last. I wanna bellow. I wanna say your name without quarantining my voice for 14 days into forever because you are no longer here. I wanna say your name. You died without my touch. I want to bellow. I want to say your name into tomorrow and believe you are not alone because our souls touched and traveled and loved and lived and died as one when you said, I can't breathe. When you said, I can't breathe, and politics overruled your ability to receive, achieve, breathe, and have more life. Let the rivers run free until we do, flowing red bloods of our sins, our hopes, our threads of living light, like we are human too. Let the ears be covered not to hear and mask the heart for more lies and fear. Let the sight not be regained until pain has had its reign. Should we paint our doorsteps with red blood, Passover blues? May we hang mask, but not in surrender, but to remember the tribal muse. My God, let us remember the names and bellow. I want to bellow. Let us breathe.
Woo! Woo!
Thank you. Thank you, my fellow sisters.
Bellow, sis.
Bellow.
I felt
You
that.
gotta get it, Sister Ameerah.
I appreciate each and every one of your compliments, your claps, your standing behind me, having my back for each and every show and each and every poem that is voiced on these stages. I'm going to move the show along right now. So that was my piece. And following me, oh, before I go on, because I won't be speaking again in terms of poetry, but I am the author of a book. It's called Breathing Through Concrete. You heard some excerpts from this book of poetry. It's an anthology of poems speaking about the lives of people that I have encountered being a public school teacher, mostly children and women. It's available on Amazon. Again, the title of the book is Breathing Through Concrete. So I'm going to pass this baton on to my sister friend. I believe the next poet up is, let me just check my list here. I just said the name. Following me is Mwikali.
Well, that was amazing as always. The birth mother of When Women Speak, we value you so much, Miss Ameerah. This poem is called Ameerah's Poem. And there were birds that followed along the arm and rose to the sky and called on the power of the fingers, meeting in one tight grasp, one poetic fist, one strong hold on the sky, one strong hold on the sky, one cry to the heavens with closed lips and not over here, you won't eyes. Haven't the women been warriors to the backdrop of sunsets and sunrise? Don't the skies look like fire lately? Ain't that good? Ain't that good for finding the treasures? Are there still treasures here? Is this land spacious enough in the skies for a Black woman's love to live and come home alive sometimes? Do the amber waves of grain feed all the children, or must some wait? Must some wait for the purple mountains? But do the purple mountains know the feet are coming? Do the shining seas still taste like the libations that were bodies breaking into water, determined to be free? Do the birds know what's up enough to align like a constellation along the arm of Black woman wearing war like love? Because what is more loving than fighting for what is beautiful at best and for what is old at least? Hasn't the beauty known when to beast on these streets? Close your eyes. Imagine spacious skies that don't eat Black lives before their time. Imagine purple mountains moving to meet the feet of the forgotten. Imagine the warriors say climb. Imagine the way the feet find concrete cross oceans. Imagine the sound of the people all over the world becoming one fist, risen high, never tired, never forgetting the pursuit of the fierce fly liberty is, never forgetting how loud the heartbeat is, how it only gets louder with each one unjustly silenced, how the heart of the people can be heard everywhere as long as there is injustice anywhere. The people will be everywhere. And that's that piece.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Better let them know.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's letting them know. She's letting the world know.
That was straight fire.
Piece, Mwikali?
I do. I have a second piece.
Before you go into that, can you tell me or tell us a little bit about your book? Because you're a published author as well.
I do that. Yes, my book is 4 years old, y'all.
Hey.
So my book is entitled Love, Discovery, Recovery, and Relapse. It was published as a collection that was meant to be a story of the journey through love and life, you know, just the journey through discovering what love is, what love sometimes ain't, what love is when it's for you, and what love is when you decide to still believe, you know. And so it is my hope that you read it, that you feel loved, that you live in that space of love, and that this piece that I end with this evening is a tribute to love and to the community and to you, because we are asked as women and as people to really do a lot and be a lot, and it causes us to often feel we are not enough. And I welcome you to denounce that. You are greater than enough, and so we're gonna call on a healing and a groove, and so it's a groove.
Mwikali, before you're done with your poem, after you're done with your poem, I should say, could you pop that link in the chat so we can share it with everyone?
Absolutely. And you can visit my website, www.thekalimaycollection, that's Kali with a K, .com. And there you will find my book as well as apparel and blingage. So here we go. All right. Lights low. Offering up an amber aura in the living room, letting there be light, keeping the atmosphere appropriate for creation. Let there be light. Wait till the night has nothing more to do. Then let you be with you and your thoughts, and the couch you deem throne that you might be properly propped for your crowning achievements. Let there be incense to offer up sensual scent and smoke to pair with elevation. It's a groove. It's a move away from the fast-paced lists of things to do and places to be. It's a chance to dance your gel ink across pages that have always been your safest spaces. It's a rhythm. The beat matches life song. The beat matches life song. Matches the rhythm. Matches the rhythm. Matches the rhythm. When you take heart. When you take heart here. Candlelight allows enough light to examine yourself. Matches the humming that happens when you take heart. The beat be breaking barriers around the brain and letting thought flow free. Mental soliloquy, it's a rhythm that rights the wrongs of the weak and puts strong hands to tense places and opens up a space for wings to grow when you're ready for them. Here, where candlelight provides enough fire to ignite an internal review on how you are, lets you be the star of your concerns, and congratulations on sometimes being the bright of the best constellations. You be a compilation of light and love. Here you remember who you are and what this is. It's a groove. Stretch before you break into your newest move. Yes, stretch. Stretch. Feel it in your shoulders, stretch. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Stretch. Here you be dancing. You be dancing to the beat of your own drum. You remember you are the music you make. Gravity don't live here. Here you lose your fear of falling. You understand that the possibility that you fall shares space with the possibility that you fly. Or secure bruises that remind you of your resilience. Either way, you win. It's a groove. Stretch before you break into your newest move. Growth begins with the stretching of muscle and mind. So stretch. Flexibility makes for less fear. Stretch and find yourself unfractured by the festivities, because it's a groove, it's a vibe, it's what victory feels like when you put the pieces of you back together again, and the bass from your deepest self booms, and the soprano of your soul breaks glass ceilings, and you find yourself flowing out of glasses half full into spaces once empty. Reciprocity be the rhythm, gratitude be the groove, life be the stage, you be the creators of the script on the page. Here you remember to act accordingly.
You better. You better.
Yes. Act accordingly.
You better go.
Accordingly.
Like,
Oh,
please.
I
Good
bet
Lord.
the neighbors is like, what's going on in there? 'Cause you nuts.
All right, you better go.
Yeah, get it all the way.
Thank you,
Oh.
sister. Listen, I tried to put your information. Please check it in the chat and then repost it on the live feed so people out there in social media land can also get a copy of that fabulous book and hear you again. Ladies and gentlemen out there in social media land, this is When Women Speak on the platform of the New Yorican Poets Cafe, and this is April Poetry Month. Coming to the mic next is Sister Callie. And Callie, can you unmute yourself?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that was a vibe. It was a whole vibe. I've been enjoying the show the whole time. So this is When Women Speak. I definitely, again, am excited to be here, and I would like to share a poem that I have not shared yet. It's a deep one for me. I'm sharing emotions that I haven't shared before, so I'm just asking the women of the space to hold space for me as I share it.
We got you.
So this one is called To a Name More Precious Than Words. I never tried to count all the reasons why a woman's cradled arms rock empty, but I'm sure they are just as endless as the raindrops in a monsoon. Sometimes the womb betrays us simply because the female soul is far too broken to abracadabra her magic into a bundle of life that beats and breathes. Sometimes existence breaks us into barrenness. And I know there are not enough excuses to excuse this mess of a mother who never actually became one, but believe. I thought I could mend my fractured self before I ran out of time. I spent all of the minutes of my biological clock digging through an endless void of old heartache. And I didn't have enough seconds left to afford you. I was lost. But I never loved you any less if love is in fact what I've learned in this life. The line between heart and self-hatred can be blurry when generational trauma teaches you to weaponize your wounds against those sent to love you through the pain. The one joy that I have is that I will never teach you to do the same. I hope that you can understand the spirit of a woman who had no hopes of holding you anyway. Locked in lust with men who are far too eager to take the throne without sharing the kingdom. I carry my crown with the rest of my baggage. I am still a damaged spirit, empty and hollow, bearing the echoes of a vacant belly. Whispers bouncing off the walls of my metro will never speak anything but scarlet. I wanted nothing more than to be your mother. The kind of mother my mother knew nothing about being, but maybe it's more difficult to be different than I wanted to believe. Maybe the seed doesn't fall far enough from the tree, so I remain fruitless because I wouldn't have known how to cultivate you. You're better off in God's hands. Does he teach you about cosmos and carbon and the ethereal Black queen? Is he building a matriarch strong enough to manifest you into this world and fierce enough to form the world you deserve? Maybe you're better off in God's hands. But I hope he tells you how much you were wanted, my fat-legged, bright-eyed, dream deferred. I console myself by believing that you were saved from this life. I make me a sacrificial Mary who gave her only begotten girl to keep her from suffering the same fucked up future that seems to be the commonplace rites of passage for Black women like me. I wonder if the earth ever has to pray this hard to find her bloom in springtime. I am sometimes jealous of her ability to blossom with the seasons. I will plant a garden of greens and roses in your name, you that I never named. And I will seed it in summer, and then again in winter, and I will protect what grows for as long as I can before the soil reclaims it again, covers up the scents and the sights of it as though it never existed, as though it were you. God, I hope he tells you how much you were wanted. There are a million infinite reasons why a woman is left without a legacy, but I refuse to name mine. Thank you.
Woo! Callie, from the moment,
Beautiful.
the moment that
Yes.
I met you have always had a place in my heart. Your words, the imagery, the emotion, the stories, I can relate to each and every syllable that comes off of that tongue. It was a beautiful piece, very heartfelt. Thank you for sharing that. Ladies, you want to offer any words to Callie the poet?
I have to wait until my turn and then I will say, because all of y'all right now, I'm just pausing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Like, Callie, your piece speaks. I just had this conversation like literally like 2 weeks ago at work. We got a lady who always walking around telling somebody, oh, well, what are you waiting to have kids for? When are you gonna have kids? And I said, you can't be asking people that. Everybody's, you don't know. And they got medical issues. Maybe they don't have kids. Maybe all this stuff happens. And I think that to bear children is a wonderful legacy. But to also not bear children does not mean that you can't leave a legacy as well. Like we are aunties, great aunties, running around, we helping other people raise their children and stuff. And I just want to thank you for sharing that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
I want to take, because I can show the lady at my job, like, didn't I tell you? Doing your bullshit.
Yeah, we are mothers of the earth. If nothing else, we kind of grace everybody with our motherly love, even if we haven't birthed any from our own selves. Callie, where can we find you?
I actually tried to fix it because it's a little wrong on the screen, but I am on Instagram mainly under Callie the Poet, but it's 2 underscores. So Callie _ poet. And I'm also on Facebook under Catherine Woodyard. I'll write it in the chat so that you can share it. My last name is a little weird. But again, thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for holding this space for me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for joining us here on the New York Poets Cafe, When Women Speak. All right, so coming to the mic next, we have Sister Megha. You're up, Megha.
Thanks, everyone. The poem I'm going to read is called My Survival Story, and it was one of the state level contest winner in the Nami and Dara poetry contest, and it's called My Survival Story. The slow cleaving in my backbone, the seamless transformation, branching into my 1,000 selves, like a sapling breaking from the blind seed. I'm sprouting, I'm thriving, growing like a Medusa, this fecundity of myself, breaking out into 1,000 versions of me, morphing into shapes, perfecting the art of topiary, like a reflection of the summer sun, shining into a million versions of me on shards of broken mirror, blessing them with its apricity. I am the war cry, the mortal fear, residing behind the enemy lines, the lava, the primordial gel, creating life so sublime. I am the knowledge in the words, in the spattering cacophony of your mind, with inked breaths and walnut skin, boisterous, unfettered, and uncontrolled, walking barefoot on this graveled path, unspooling life's fear in its intimate corridors. My pain impaled on the stars in the nightly sky, I shine through my pulverized skin, the broken pieces I foraged together to make a whole of me, an untrammeled beauty deep within. This fecundity is my survival instinct to handle the plethora of emotions life throws at me, undulating between the proximity and prosody of pain. I'm learning. Yes, I am growing.
Megha, that was beautiful, sister. That was very beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and some of your accolades? I know you have a tremendous, tremendous resume, and you've been in several publications. Give us a little bit of information about yourself.
I'm a poet, writer, editor based in Jersey City, New Jersey. I'm also a poetry editor with a UK-based arts and literary journal, Mwikali, and also with a California-based arts and literary journal, Life and Legends. I'm also a literary partner with the Life in Quarantine project of Stanford University, which is basically a historical project and curating the works of the poets and writers across the globe in response to the pandemic time. And recently, I edited two major anthologies, one with the Mwikali called the Medusa Project, which basically celebrates the 100 years of the suffragist movement. So it was released last year. And the second one is called the Kali Project, which is an anthology featuring 200 poets of Indian female descent, celebrating their struggle and pain. And this year, both my first chapbook and my full-length collection is going to be out. My chapbook is called My Body Is Not an Apology, and it is coming out by Finishing Line Press in the month of October. And my full-length collection is called My Body Lives Like a Thread, and it's coming out by Texas-based press Flower Song. And I'm so proud to say that I'm sharing the author space with the US Poet Laureate and the Chancellor of Academy of American Poets, Felipe Juan Herrera. So it's an extreme honor for me to share the author space with him, and I'm so thankful for you for giving me this platform. I basically am active on Facebook and on Twitter, and my Twitter handle is at MeghaSood16. And you can also find my poetry website. It's called Megha's World. It's meghasworldsite.wordpress.com.
Beautiful, sis. Beautiful. If you type that in the chat, I'll make sure that it goes out on the live stream. And you are saying that you're grateful being a part of this platform. We are so blessed and grateful to have you. Thank you, Megha, for always being there for When Women Speak. And I will see you on the May show, May show, May show. Thank you, Megha. Coming to the stage next, we have the lovely Paige.
Thank you, Ameerah. All right, I'm just gonna jump in because I know we're getting towards the end here. So this poem is different from my last one, different spin. Here we go. Tears splatter in drops on concrete, the first sign of rain at my feet. You know the smell, subtle hints of spring on the tail end of winter. I know you remember the scent. I yearn to bury my head in scarves, woolen and sometimes scratchy. I hand knitted one to remind me of hobbies I don't engage in, but I've watched others use to create homemade gifts for my babies, now grown, too grown to need blankies for security, and soon they won't need me either. Tears leave marks on blacktop that seem to get closer until they touch. I don't ever remember crying this much. Maybe once when I lost my father and the nursing home said sorry, but not really. Some lady whose name I can't remember who had a Caribbean accent, she said sorry. I know that from my testimony at the deposition that lasted for hours, that culminated with a heartless lawyer shoving a picture of my father's bed sores in my face. That's when I learned that institutions are like some people who never apologize, just throw money at the problem and avert their eyes. Tears splatter, collecting into puddles as downpours overwhelm gutters clogged with last season's leaves. I don't think he will ever see the way I was drowning in plain view because I was the life raft that everyone clung to. No one saw me holding my fingers over punctures so that I could pretend that I wasn't losing air. It's hard to swim in puddles with a family on your back. The backstroke becomes impossible, so I crawled just to find out that I was still treading water, though the storm was already over and I was on dry land. In the middle of the road, thinking it was the sea, cars swerving just to avoid running over me. Tears evaporate from skies that clear. It's hard to see the storm from here, but I assure you, I lived through it. Vaguely recall the calm before it all, but now I look ridiculous. Standing here soaked in my wedding dress that no longer fits, wondering if I don't make a sound, will I still exist? The sun shining makes light of this. At it, I shake my fist and pray for rain to come and wash away my pain, to keep me from the beckon of insane. I need water to quench my thirst. Without it, everything just hurts. Thank you.
Thank you, Paige. Paige, thank you for joining us on When Women Speak. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and where we can find you?
Sure. I am an English teacher turned garden extraordinaire. I run a nonprofit that I founded called CROPS, which stands for Communities Revolutionizing Open Public Spaces. You can find us on Instagram at CropsNJ. And you can also find my work in the lovely Nzima's book, Every Kind of Lady. I have 2 poems in her anthology and a couple coming in the next one as well. So thank you so much. I'm always honored to be around such amazing spirits. Thank you. Thank you, Ameerah.
And I'm holding up the advertisement for
Yes.
the anthology of Every Kind of Lady, which we all are. And I'm sure Nzima will bring more conversation to this when she's called to the stage. But thank you again, Paige, and we're happy to have you. And Nzima and I are very happy that you are a part of Every Kind of Lady and When Women Speak. Ladies and gentlemen, calling to the stage next, we have Stephanie.
Again. I have, my poems are kind of short. I had to, but I'll just do this one. And then if there's enough time, Ameerah, I'll do your favorite because it's really short.
Okay.
Okay. It's called Roll Call. We become desensitized to violent crimes. So when bullets fly, oh, wait, let me get my camera. Cause now I can't miss this. Last breath, can't miss this. Just think how many views I'm gonna get on this. Roll call, 1 shot, 2 shot, Al-Shakeen Woodson, Hassan Scott, 3 shot, 4 shot, Tammy Henderson, Jamal McBride, 5 shots, man down. And all we're left to tell them is rest in peace. Because of a simple act of violence, rest in peace. There have been over 40 murders in the city of Newark since the year has started. And because of our need to be so social through the media, we no longer value life. We have given up the right to fight for life and replaced it with the cute hashtag of why we matter. But do we really believe it? In today's society, the word unity, although a good idea, does it really exist? Y'all don't realize that we kill more people than the police have ever. Their logic, why should we have to lift a finger if they're willing to do it for us? Wake up, Brick City, wake up. I'm so tired of these violence crimes and I refuse to any longer be desensitized. No longer will I be at peace. No longer will I tell them rest in peace. I will continue to fight for my city. See, the time for peace is long overdue. An unspoken agreement between me and you. We have enough people on the outside trying to tear us down. So don't let the hate penetrate inside too. For our peace, fight for our peace. For you, for me, for us. 1 shot, 2 shot, Brick City, stand up.
Wow, powerful, powerful. And some of the lines in there kind of resonate throughout the cities all over America, especially when it has to do with African people or people of African descent. Yes, let's stop killing ourselves. The march.
And for our international viewers, Brick City is Newark, New Jersey.
Newark in the house. Stephanie, can you tell us a little bit about what you do and what your product is?
Yes, so I work with local government right now. I work for one of the programs within the city that's, services the public and, aids them with different things that they need, social services. And I'm currently working on starting my own business, which my website will be out in May. It'll be starting in May. It's called Authentic Lotus. It stands for Ladies Overcoming Trials, Unified in the Spirit. And it just gives women, I'm a Christian, so it was very important to me to give women a platform, a safe space where they can talk about the things that they've been through and, not be shy about sharing their stories, because there are other women that have been through the same things.
Thank you. Thank you. Put your information in the chat and I'll make sure it goes out on the live feed as well. And thank you once again for performing here with When Women Speak. Also, I'd like to take this time to mention that as the audience can see that When Women Speak is not of one kind of woman, it's of all kinds of women. Black, red, yellow, green, Christian, Muslim, whatever your faith, no faith, or whatever you happen to be. This is a space for women. Thank you, Stephanie. Calling to the stage next, I have Sister Paradise.
Paradise.
I'm gonna hear that every time I hear my name, Helena. Thank you. I've been doing a lot of work with my employer around racial and social justice. So this poem deals with that. And this is the first time I'm reading it. And it's part 2, but I'm going to give you the second part. It's part 2 to Trump's America. This particular piece is titled, We're Coming for You.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm a mom. It never stops. I'm ready now. We're coming for you. White American, Trump's right America. AMERKKK. America, you still mad 'cause we painted your White House black? Your story's told, your story's old, her story, his story retold. We told you, don't come for us unless we sent for you. You came for us, now we're coming for you. Me Too movements in full effect. Hashtag Black Lives Do Matter, even when your white ones exempt. Blue lives don't matter when you're murdering us. We're coming for you. Your white privilege can't protect you. We're coming for you. Your white fragility doesn't make you exempt. We're coming for you. White supremacists, we're coming for you. You can run, but you cannot hide. In bunkers, we'll still find you. Buck your peaceful protest on stolen ground. We bear the scars of our ancestors. We hear their cries. We've heard their prayers. We brandish their hearts, covered in the full armor of God. We're coming for you. So no, we will not pledge our allegiance to a country who has never pledged its allegiance to us. Instead, we pledge our allegiance to fight racial inequality, social injustice, disparities, this ugly racist beast. No, we will not stand. No, we will not give up for strange fruit no longer simply dangle on southern trees. They're lynching us on live TV. Mama, we can't breathe. America, we can't breathe, but we coming, best believe, on bended knees with your foot on our necks pressed. We're coming for you. My brothers and my sisters, don't give up. We stand with you. No justice, no peace. Let me place that in layman's terms. Let me place that in slain men's terms. Without justice, you will get no peace. Without justice, you will get no sleep. America, we're coming for you.
Thank you, Sister Paradise. Can you just quickly tell us a little bit about what you do and where to find you?
I do this. I'm the Art of Paradise. All the logos you've seen behind me.
Okay.
That's my website. That's the with 2 E's, THEE, art standing for authentic raw talent of paradise. It's never just me. It's never just poetry.
Wow.
And you can find me on Instagram as well as Facebook. I am not a published author yet. It's long overdue and I'm working on it.
Hey, you're a poet, and we love you. Thank you for gracing our stage. Moving the show right along. I'm going to call Mariah back. Hey, Mariah.
Hello.
How are you? Let's go.
Good. All right. I changed up the game. I'm gonna do a different piece than what I was intending. It's called In the Sky, We're All Stars. I was hiding underneath the wooden floorboards. It was 1938. Hitler created this world which was like a zoo. It was surrounded by gates. So I shut every window, locked every door. They sent the Jews to those camps. We're in the middle of the Second World War. The Afro-Germans like me couldn't escape. They wanted to be something more than an Unsermenschen, which is German for subhuman. It is what the Nazis called the Afro-Germans and the Jews. I will breathe softer, softer when I hear the squeaks of the floorboards from the Nazis' black shoes. They have their Mein Kampf. Jews have their Torah. The Jewish girl lying beside me, her name is Laura. We grew up together. We were found. They brought us to the camp in Auschwitz-Birkenau. They did their Nazi salute, or what I call their dictator king bow. We were pale and emaciated, and just in a week, Laura was exterminated. They used their dehumanizing powers to expose her to the gas chambers of the crematorium. They'll say ashes are less gory. Besides, she was just an Unsermenschen dirty scum. They took me someplace else with the other humans like me, the ones with the chocolate skin and the charcoal dust on our knees. They said it would only be a checkup with the doctor, but they were the doctors who burned Laura to ashes for only being a Jew. They were doctors, all right. We became their medical experiment. I guess people use these medicines now. Our dead bodies, the unchangeable testament. There was slavery and hate crimes in America. I thought because I'm German, I'll be safe here. But if you're a minority, you're only safe if you're clear. And sorry, I'm not a part of your Aryan race. This land that I used to call home is now a graveyard resting space. The Nazis wore swastikas, which was originally a symbol made to scare off an evil spirit, but we're not evil, we're becoming ghosts because of the people who fear it. Hitler called Afro-Germans Rhineland bastardizations while he was sleeping on the genocide generations. On our final night together, it was just Laura and I. Tears ran down our cheeks as we gazed at the night sky. He said, "The Jews have the Star of David, but no matter what our differences are, we're all only human. In the sky, we're all stars."
Mariah, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mariah. Mariah, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram. It's my name with a dot in the middle. I can put it in the chat. It's just Mariah.Ayscue.
Thank you, Mariah, for being a part of When Women Speak. Dr. Helena, we're like at the hour. Should we continue or should we cut where we are?
Chris?
Just a few more people with one poem each.
We really don't have that much time. We're supposed to end at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Chris, can we get an extra 10 minutes?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, we're going. Where the poetry size? Where the poetry size? Where the poetry size?
Yes. Dr. Ellis, you're up. Let's go.
Okay. See me in the chat. I'll just do my last thing, and it's a benediction. May you find peace in the midst of the storm. May you find radical self-love in the stories at the bottom of grandmother's pot liquor and the sounds of sister friends' laughter. May your isolation find ways to songs of how I got over, and in the words of rich cultural histories and narratives of Toni Morrison, Nikki G, and Maya Angelou. May you never mourn alone, even when loved ones are not near. May today's rain bring forth a harvest of overflowing bounty to fill your belly. May you have enough. enough memories to create beautiful artwork and never forget who you are, enough coins to pay what you due, enough love to know you are worthy. May your tears nourish dry places deep within your soul. May you have health and discernment and courage to walk away when it's time to leave. May you see yourself in every pushed out woman and dismissed girl, every man and shy boy. May the walls built to oppress you crumble with thunder from women's voices protesting and resisting in sewing circles and social media dance parties and poetry slams and choir lofts and holy dancing and Zoom classes and art galleries and in hot yoga and voting booths. May you continue to heal, take a deep breath and take it in. Have a deep breath. God bless. Go in peace.
Thank you, Dr. Alice. That was a beautiful, beautiful piece. And thank you for joining us. Where can we find you? And is there anything we need? You're muted, hon. You'll see you in the chat.
Okay. See me in the chat. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Coming up to the stage next, we have Kiare.
Excellent. Ameerah, again, thank you for this platform. Thank you all for this space. This last poem that I wrote means a lot to me. I wrote it for a number of reasons, but the one that I'm going to cite today is that I had two amazing friends when I was 12, and we kind of disbanded, sadly, but we have recently come back together as a group. And so this is in tribute to my beautiful friendship that I'm very happy has been able to re-find ourselves. I miss you on Saturday mornings. When the sun peeks through my blinds, I used to wake to the smell of blueberry pancakes and the sound of Bill Withers singing This Lovely Day. I miss you when I go to my mommy's house and she asks me about my life. I miss you when I dance, when I introduce myself to new people. When someone asks me where I'm from, I'll ask them if they mean originally or most recently, respond to either specification, and then realize that I don't know anymore. When I'm going to sleep and I remember home only in concept, you used to be so happy. To smile like life was amazing and laugh like freedom was actually free, you used to remember me. I'm not sure who was the first person who told you that you were ugly, but I remember when you accepted it. I never knew how to taught you who taught you how to hate yourself, but I love you, and it hurts. Loving you. I don't know why I still do it, but I love you even though I don't know what you look like anymore. I think I see you when I first wake up, running around, getting ready for work. I want to tell you that I love my job. I do it for you. I wake up extra early, make sure I look crisp. I get to work before most of the others. You see, I want to be ready when I see you, when you see me. When I see you, see me, see us, I see us in my kids, and I love my students, even though I don't get paid enough to. But it was never about money for you, and I know that is why I do it. I am looking for you, even though I know you will never come home to me. I walk in and out of work every day, chasing shadows of a memory that I'm not even sure belongs to me. At this point, it feels like that's all it will ever be. Memories are as much about what made them as it is remembering. And that explains why I cry so much now. I remember, and I miss, and I love, and then I release. I can't wait until I stop looking for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiare. And I'm sorry that we're rushed for time. Can you come and put your information in the chat and I'll share it out to everyone. Thank you for blessing our life here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next up, Ilu. Ilu?
Oh, okay. Can you see me?
Yes.
My excuse me, I'm sorry. My voice is going out. My womb, my temple of tranquility, the source of my energy, and the cradle for my baby. But I am more than she. I am more than your twisted fantasies of having your pretty little babies. My God didn't just design me to wear pregnancy with bare feet. My Purpose doesn't lie between my thighs, so stop telling me lies to get between my thighs, because I do have a mind, and my womb is not your crucifixion. My womb couldn't emasculate your ego by calling me your shero, because ego always has to be the hero. Couldn't see me any higher than your puff chest. My greatness too difficult to profess, because my values always seem equal less. Not worrying about how I view myself, but I need to see myself greater than any vision you could have pictured me in. Bearers have come to power to my demise, as truth is unable to stare me in the eye. My reflection I've come to despise, because I know that it's nothing but a lie. See, true love never started with you. It was within me the whole time. Accepting my time with you was another third blessing. Hear me, God. I'm open and ready to receive my blessing. Please come and take away this depression and fill my heart with positive conviction, because my womb was never meant to be desecrated by his emotional confusion. She is not his depiction of what a woman is, because I am greater than any promise. Finding my footing to stand tall. Queens may bend the knee, but we never fall. We just rise through it all. I've learned to love myself through it all, because self-love is the most important love. Self-love is the most important love.
Thank you, Sister Ilu. Thank you so much. And can you kindly put your information in the chat? And so we have our final artist of the night. And I'm welcoming to the stage my mirror sister, my mirror image, Sister Nzima, and she's going to close out the show. Everybody out there in social media land, thank you. And sisters that came out to When Women Speak, thank you. People in our stage environment, thank you. This will be the last poet of the evening. Sister, Dr. Helena, do you have any advertisements after Nzima before I?
Yes, I have something to say when she gets done performing, but she needs to go.
Go.
Okay, so this poem is called Yellow Dress for Her. It's dedicated to my daughter who passed away in 2017. She was 6. Before I stood there in my yellow butterfly light caftan dress for her, I gave it all that I had, bowed and agreed to the whole get up and go thing, live on thing, pretend she is their thing, consider taking a leap by walking in her shoes, her silver metallic 2 or 3 inch high heel stilettos, her prom shoes, the ones she wore once, but remembered and deemed her being more graceful, physically balanced, fancier and braver than I. Besides, she wore a size 9. Think her spirit gave me a side eye, then laughed with me and at me. I felt it, as usual. Somehow it all turned into a salty cry. Salty tears crowded my eyes, soaked up my cheeks and collarbone. Sounds of howls took up residence in all my empty spaces. My inner negotiator worked desperately to hold and save me. The soliloquies and replays and okays and some other onomatopoeias gave way. Time silenced and rounded the clock. It was time to do the live thing. My toes stretched open. My foot slipped in and settled in my gray flip-flops. My hands joined in, started wrapping my locks favorably and delicately in shiny satin. Then I stepped out, accepted my reward, tasted a moment, assembled grace, organically smiled and cried inside too. Onlookers never knew, they never do. I make it picturesque, took the picture, stood there, arms wide open, and my yellow butterfly light caftan dress for her. I wore a yellow dress for her. She wanted to wear it for her prom, and she didn't make it.
Prayers go out to you. That was a
Thank
lovely
you.
piece, and thank you for sharing the yellow butterfly dress. I'll always remember it. I've already talked about the anthology, so I'm sorry we didn't have enough time to really go in, but thank you once again, every kind of lady. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Helena, you want to close this out?
Yes, I want to thank all of our performers. And I just want to say there was a lot of stuff that was not able to be properly processed during this time. A lot of trauma, a lot of grief, a lot of loss, a lot of celebration as well. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm not offering clinical services, but I can refer you. Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody's in the Zoom universe. It's fine. I would like to thank the fantastic Newark Poets Cafe, the house that the late Miguel Agarin built, may he rest in power forever, for allowing us to do this platform. And I have to thank Ameerah, who, when I reached out to her, she was like, no problem, I'll pull the ladies together. And you women on this Zoom have blown me away. And please continue to write, and please continue to support the New Rican Poets Cafe. All theaters and all creative organizations are struggling right now with COVID-19, and you can make a tax-deductible donation to us at nuyorican.org/contribute or # New Rican Poets Cafe. Ameerah, close out the show and say goodbye to the people.
Well, you could have been any place else on earth, but you showed up and you showed out, all of you poets. Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing your gifts, and thank you, audience. Without you, this couldn't have been possible. Thank you, Dr. Helena. Thank you, New York Poets Cafe, and good night and happy Poetry Month.
Thank you.
All right, be safe, good people. Wear masks.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I see Edward. I see Jasmine. I see Alex. I see Heather. I see you out there, Lyric. I see you. I see you. Y'all be safe. Thanks, Chris, for letting us go over.